One of the best skills that we must learn is communicating with others, especially since we are in an era where communication has greatly decreased. Today, I will present to you 7 habits that you commit that make you lose the respect of others and lose your prestige. If you are interested, subscribe to the channel immediately and let's begin. The first topic we will discuss today is the concept of haste. We often think that someone who has influence somewhere or leaves a good mark is in no hurry. This idea in itself can affect the power of your presence. We can break this concept down into 3 main points. The first point is about rushing into a conversation, speaking too quickly or without considering your words. The second point is about rushing to achieve certain results from whatever you do, which often leads to impatience or dissatisfaction. The third point is about always rushing to help others or offer assistance, which can sometimes come across as insincere or overwhelming. If you are struggling with this, a simple technique called KISS, keep it super simple, can help. This means keeping any conversation simple and to the point, and to speak to the heart of the matter without empty talk. If you practice staying calm and speaking less, you will find that everything you say or do will have more value. The second topic we'll cover today is the issue of frequent interruptions or interference during conversations. In Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the habits is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Be aware that the idea you feel the need to interrupt someone to say is likely weak, so you can't tolerate opposing ideas. You might interrupt because you're not convinced of your idea or lack the confidence to defend it. Try to avoid this behavior. Otherwise, people may start avoiding you. Instead, listen to the person in front of you. Give them a chance to speak. They might have a valid point. Then share your perspective. The third topic is about arguing or debates. This is a tricky area because there's a big difference between a healthy discussion aimed at finding a solution and arguing just to prove you're right. Some people argue a lot because they think it makes them seem strong when they win the argument. For example, they might choose controversial topics like politics, religion, sports, or any other subject just to grab attention. These people often have prepared arguments ready to prove their point, and this pattern can become habitual. When you're around such individuals, you might notice they often start conversations with, "What do you think about this issue?" knowing exactly what they will say and how to argue. But remember, winning an argument will make you lose the people around you. Some people learn from a young age to argue just to win. If you do this, forget about earning people's respect. Instead, try to turn arguments into discussions. If you turn arguments into discussions, you'll learn more and build better relationships. Winning a debate doesn't necessarily make you smarter, but learning from others and discussing meaningful topics can be a key to your success. The fourth topic is about the habit of complaining. Some people constantly complain about everything. Life being tough, work problems, issues with their spouse, or other things. If you complain a lot, I honestly don't want to listen. There are 2 possibilities. Either you know the solution to the problem you're complaining about, so why complain? Or you don't know the solution and are seeking advice. If you have a problem and keep complaining without trying to solve it, that's not helpful. Everyone has their issues, and constantly hearing others' complaints can be draining. It's better to focus on our own lives and problems rather than getting bogged down by others' complaints. Constant complaining can make you seem weak and diminish the respect and esteem others have for you. The 5th habit you should avoid is belittling others. This doesn't necessarily mean saying bad things to someone's face. It can also be done indirectly, like a manager who doesn't focus on the needs or development of their employees, only pointing out negative aspects. It could be a father or husband who doesn't spend quality time with their family, not showing enough care or involvement. In these cases, you're diminishing others indirectly, which reduces your influence with them. Don't talk about respect if you don't have an impact. Instead, try to win people over to your side. It will benefit you greatly. The 6th habit, which many people have, is not valuing your time. It's about not realizing the value of your time and allowing anyone to take it for free. For example, if you see a Ferrari or a Bugatti on the street, everyone notices it and admires it because it's rare and valuable. If you're like the common cars that fill our streets, your presence is okay, but your absence won't be missed. Remember, scarcity increases demand, but you must create a compelling presence. The more attractive your presence, the more people will miss you when you're not around. I'm not asking you to isolate yourself from people, but to fill your time with work, sports, and learning new skills. This will make you rare and give you respect, but only if your presence was attractive before. Before we move on to point number 7, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn on the notification bell to see more. The 7th and final point is about boasting. This concept has become prevalent nowadays. In our lives, we see people who feel the need to boast about even the simplest things they've done, acting as if they're the only ones to have achieved them. This behavior can drive people away because no one likes to constantly hear about someone else's achievements. According to the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, to gain others' interest, you must be interested in them. Don't always try to showcase how great you are, instead show interest in others. If you have the habit of boasting, try to break it because it can cost you a lot. I hope this episode has provided you with some skills that you can apply in your work or personal life. I'd love to hear more from you about what you'd like to discuss in the future. If you have any ideas you'd like us to talk about, feel free to write them in the comments below. With that, we've reached the end of today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.